So I started off the stream by talking about driving the Tesla today. Like it wasn't scary at all. I thought I might be scared to drive, but I wasn't. So actually felt very good, very liberating. I was like, the first thing I'm gonna do is go to the muffin charger and charge the car. Um, so yeah, driving on the highway wasn't scary. I did not crash on the highway. I didn't have an accident on the highway. So that wasn't scary to me. Just driving felt really good. Like I've been waiting for the car for 2 months. Like I got into an accident in August, early August, and the car has been in a collision center since like the week after that. And that's a long time. And I was saying before that I didn't even call them once to like be like, hey, where's my car? How fast is it gonna be? Like why did it take so long? I didn't do any of that, which is surprising because like almost every day I was like, wah, I want my testy back. But I like somehow just didn't call them because I know like it's not gonna make it go faster if I like keep calling them every week, every day about the car. Yeah, I was like so happy to be streaming from the car again. Like, it's just like I really like technology, and the car is like driving a phone. So it's like really cool. It's a really fun car to drive. I'm so glad that I have it. I never took it for granted. Like, I always like enjoyed the car, and like just being back in it today was like very just like just very fun. It's like kind of like Christmas because the car looks brand new. It looks like I didn't even have an accident. So, okay. So, what happened 2 months ago? So, before I was kind of skeptical to talk about it because I was still processing everything. Like, and I just mean like with the insurance and whatever. So, I didn't want to put anything out there and figure stuff out with lawyers and whatever. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I could have been hurt. Like, so I'm gonna get into that while I explained that whole accident. So I was gonna make a YouTube video about it like in the beginning of September, but I didn't get around to doing that. But here we are now. Okay, so I was in Beverly Hills and there were two cars in front of me. And first there was just the one car, and then there was this super fast car that he was driving he was driving sus. So he goes and he's driving in the right lane, then he switches over like very quickly to the lane of the car in front of me. And then so that car stops, and then like it was just like he did like that, stop. The car in front of me stopped, and I like didn't stop fast enough, and I crashed right into the second car. The first car, the one that did the was fine. The second car, he was fine too. He didn't hit into the first car, but I like hit into his car, and I was like, it happened so like fast and slow at the same time. Like it was so like I was just like I hope I don't like if I hit in the car, I hope it doesn't like anybody gets hurt or whatever. And then when it hit, I saw like my hood of my car, and I was like, oh, I was like I almost had a tantrum, to be honest. Like I was so pissed. Like the guy in front of me, he stopped, he got out the car being so extra, like tapping on the window, like where am I going? I'm not gonna drive away. Like the F. Yeah, it was some supercar. Like he like it's just so annoying because like it's something that like I feel like I couldn't get out of it. Like it's just like it was gonna happen. Like I've been in situations where cars do stop short in front of me, and I stop in time, but I was like going at a speed, and it was just it was not it was giving it was gonna hit, but that it's like the hit wasn't that bad, which was good. But then my car was effed, and the car in front of me was it barely had a scratch. It just looked like it had like a little like you know how when you're parked and somebody like not even that there was basically nothing on the car in front of me. I was like what the f. And then since then I've been low-key like upset at Mercedes cars because there was a Mercedes in front of me. Did the guy in the super get a citation? No, like I have the footage too. Like nobody else basically got in trouble except me. So I don't know how the payout went, but my insurance was pretty good. I didn't have to pay out of pocket for the other person because I think they definitely found me at fault since I'm the one who hit basically. But I showed them the footage, and I feel like the people that were the insurance what do you call them? I forget what you call them. The adjusters. There was two of them. There's one for like the car hitting the other car, and there was another one because the guy in front of me talking about he got injured. He saw a Tesla and he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna try to get money like for injury." I'm like, this motherfucker, he got about his car. He was fine. Like, I'm not trying to say that you could get up and not be fine. What I'm saying is just like literally nothing happened to his car. So I'm like, how the F would he even like be injured? I'm like, he must have been injured before that because it wasn't me. So yeah, the cops, since I was in Beverly Hills, the cops came so quick. Like, when I tell you quick, like, I've never seen cops in my life come to a scene that quickly. And they were pretty nice. Like, I'm not trying to vouch for, like, we all know that there are cops that are not like a-holes and there are cops that are a-holes, and the whole thing with cops. So I'm gonna answer all the stuff about like hurt and this and that. So they come and they're like, what happened? And I tell them what happened. They ask me if I'm okay. And I can't answer that because I don't know. We just crashed, and like I'm the one who has a car that's actually damaged. And I was able to talk and like, walk around and like take pictures of both cars and exchange information, but it was still like it's just like a mental thing, like, oh my god, I just like hit my car into someone else's car. And now I have to do all this stuff to like get it back to normal. So it was kind of like it was like stressful because I think that day I was already like stressed out about I forgot what it was. I can't remember, but yo, thank you for the follow. But I don't be like I promise you, like I was looking at my phone or nothing. I just come from getting a corona test, like a PCR test, and I was negative and I was on my way to my partner's job and I didn't make it there, unfortunately. But I did stay alive and I wasn't seriously injured. And the crash wasn't that bad because the airbags did not come out. If the airbags had come out, that would mean like I feel like since it was kind of like a tap, just maybe the material that the Tesla is made of is not like built like the back of that mother effing Mercedes because it ain't have no dent, no nothing. I feel like the marks on the car were already there because it just looked like he was just there. And I'm like, how, how? And I need to know. I want to know like what the frame or like what the body of Teslas are made of because that thing folded, like it folded. My hood went like this. It was folded, and the bumper on either sides it was like hanging, and I think maybe one little piece was missing, but I don't think anything else, like nothing fell off the car, any of that. So when the car stopped, it was like, oh, it's basically like you cannot do autopilot, you can't do any of the smart features, blah blah blah. So I knew the car wasn't like crazy damage because the car would tell me. So the other thing is people were saying like, "Oh, why didn't the car like stop?" And I think since it happened so fast, I think it was beeping, but it was too, like I said, like the way everything happened, like I was gonna hit the car in front of me, and there was like nothing I could do to like change that, like unless I was just not driving that day. That's the only way I wouldn't have got into an accident. Yeah, so that was kind of traumatic. And then one of the officers was with me for a while, the officer with the tow truck. I was trying to decide like if I should tow the car because I don't want to drive it anymore after like having like a traumatic incident like that. Or and then it was like where would they tow it? It was like really weird. Like I could either get Tesla to tow it or the police car, and he would. But if the police tow truck towed it, they would tow it to the lot, and then I would have to pick it up, and then the insurance would have to like pay like reimburse me, and I'm like, if it needs to get repaired, why would I bring it to a lot? You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't want to bring it to a lot. So then I got on the app, the Tesla app, and I was like, hey, I want to like I was just like, oh, I need to like pick up, and they were taking a long time. And I wanted the officer to stay with me because, the accident just happened. So he stayed with me because I was like, I don't know what's going on. They didn't answer yet. And he was willing to stay until they answered. And I ended up calling like the insurance. And I think the hours were either gone or something. I was like, what the F? Like, how is like how are you supposed to get in touch with people like in any instance? Like not everyone's gonna have an accident in like normal hours of the day, like what the F? But somehow I got in touch with the insurance. I think it was Tesla I couldn't get in touch with, but the insurance I could. Like Tesla insurance and Tesla, like the numbers, and I guess they're kind of separate because when you have insurance, it's basically like the name is there or whatever, right? But everything is really done through someone else, and they're called an adjuster. So I was on the phone with her. She's asking me like the address, the this, the VIN, like what happened, and I felt like she was nice, but I felt like she wasn't understanding me at all times, and it was kind of getting annoying. Like after not on day one, not the day it happened, but like I had to keep calling because like I had to get a rental, I had to explain stuff, and I had to like like we had to get all his information, the other driver, and insurance, his insurance, and they have to like, and then I had to get in contact with like the collision center. It's like I've never had that happen before, so I was just learning how to do everything like right then and there. And it was stressful. Like first of all, like who wants to be like talking to people, and doing all these calls right after they've been in an accident. So I didn't go to the collision center right away. Like I was just in my house for a few days, like this is stressful. And I left the car in the garage and I was so what ended up happening, I didn't end up having the car towed anyway. Because Tesla took so long and they were gonna charge me like I forget how much. The insurance would have paid it off, but they were just gonna tow it to my like in front of my like garage and I was like, what the F? I can just do that myself. Like I didn't live too far from where the accident happened. So I was like, I'm just gonna do it myself, bring it home, and then go to the hospital in a Uber and make sure I'm good. And so I still have more to deal with, like which is crazy because so I have to like now call the insurance so they can deal with like the medical bill that I got because now they're hitting me up like, oh, you owe us for this. I'm like, no, I don't. I was in an accident, so they need to handle that, which I need to get on top of. But yeah, so pretty much I brought it to the collision center and they were very nice, very helpful right away. And they didn't get in contact with the insurance people, the adjusters, for like 2 weeks. Like I guess they were going back and forth. Like, when I first went to the collision center, they told me one fee, and I was like, "Whoa, that's pretty crazy." And then they went back and forth with the adjuster, and then the fee was lowered. And pretty much, I learned this weekend that I still had to pay a deductible. Like I thought I didn't have to pay anything out of pocket, but it turns out I did have to pay out of pocket the deductible, which is okay because it's a tax write off. So, I really don't have to pay nothing. But technically, I had to pay, but not really. It'll be like written off. Period.